In the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 5, and we should begin reading at verse 14. And the Word of God says in Matthew chapter 5, beginning with verse 14, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Amen. I have to talk about this morning about hold on. I'm going to say it again. Hold on. Will you say that with me? Hold on. He said, "Ye are the light of the world." And then in verse 16, he says, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Hold on. Say it with me again. Hold on. Tell your neighbor that now. Hold on. Amen. Valentino lives in New York. This past week, Valentino was interviewed on the morning show where Hoda and Savannah, with Al being the weatherman. Savannah and Hoda interviewed Valentino. Valentino looked to be a young black man, but he had spent 27 years in prison. He spent 27 years in prison. He was charged with murder. Someone's life was taken. The man who actually did the killing was also on that morning show. And he said, "I told them 2 days after I killed that person that I killed them, and it wasn't Valentino." They didn't accept my confession. And Valentino stayed in prison at Attica in New York for 27 years for a crime he didn't commit. He knew that he was innocent, but no one listened to his cry, "I'm innocent. I didn't commit the crime." So Valentino had been released from prison. 48 hours later, he was on the morning show where Hoda and Savannah were. And they asked him, how did you feel going through what you went through? He said, Valentino said, I was very angry. That's natural. To be accused and I'm innocent. And he said, I was angry. It made. And he said, but as time went by, I developed painting. And they showed a picture that he had painted. And it was a continuation of the many arts that he had learned to do in prison. But Valentino said, God spoke to me. He's on television, and they are showing it as far as that station goes, probably nationwide. Listen to what he said. God told me to hold on. They interviewed him about 3 minutes total. And he was repetitive. He was continuing to say, God told me to hold on. And he wasn't embarrassed. It didn't matter what had happened to him or who was watching him. And he said, God told me to hold on. Now, I was busy trying to get ready to get out of the house to begin my day. And I was listening to Valentino, and I rushed because I wanted to see someone that was bold enough and brave enough for what all that he had gone through. He didn't have the time to tell anyone some of the things that he went through in that 27 years. Whether your light is shining, all they'll do that on you. They'll do that on us. They'll do it. They do that, don't they? And they'll let everybody else know if your light is shining, if you say it's shining, but you're walking in darkness. But if my light is real, put a whole TV camera behind it. You don't have to slip nothing in on me just to try to see what I'm doing or what I'm saying, but just follow the light, because when you follow the light, it leads you to the light maker. See, it was God that said, let it be, and it was. Everything just dropped in his silver socket. The stars dropped in his place. The moon and the sun jumped in their place because he used the powerful word, let it be. That's the powerful God that we have. And when he said, that same Jesus said, let us make man. He was in the triune. He was there and said, let there be. And now he said, let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everywhere you go, let it shine. Whatever you are doing, let it shine. While you at work, at home, or just chilling, let it shine. Because shine, 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 this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. There was a woman went to a pastor and said that I'm leaving this church because people not involved with this church. So when it comes to worshiping, they're doing a little of everything. They don't even pay attention. They read stuff, they sleep, and they talk to each other, they pass notes, they message, and say, I'm going to leave this church because they don't have any interest. Pastor, I'm leaving. So pastor said to the woman, just a minute, before you leave. And he gave her a glass of water. And he filled it to the brim all the way up. And he said, now just walk around in the building and meet me back at the front door. Just walk around with this glass of water. Just walk around. And just meet me back at the front door, and then I'll see you later. Because you want to go. And the woman took the water and just walked and walked and walked and came back to the front door. And pastor said, what did you see? She said, no water fell out of the glass. He said, what did you see? No water fell out of the glass. Pastor said, so you focused and you couldn't see all of that other stuff in the room because you focused. A lot of people want to look around and everybody else so they can find something wrong, and they have not focused on what they should be focusing on. Because not only does light have purpose, not only is it present, not only is it powerful, but this is the moment that you plug in. We don't come to the house of prayer to be looking around and see who's doing what. We plug in to one person. We just plug in. Don't be looking around to see who's wrong. Don't be looking around, but just if you plug in, you know when you come to the parking lot, get out of the car and be thankful. All right. And when you make it to the building, what a fellowship. What a joy divine. Hey there, what a fellowship. And then if you make it to the sanctuary, the preacher is going to say, make a joyful noise. Stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. Make a joyful noise unto, hallelujah, plug in. And once you lock in on the Lord, and then somebody is going to pray and say, bless the Lord. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the problems, the pain, and the circumstance that you've been through. Bless Lord. Touch Lord. Help us Lord. And run down a litany of things. And then after that, somebody's going to get up and sing something like, thank you Lord. Thank you Lord. Some kind of words like that. Thank you Lord. Blessed be his name, and all of that. What a fellowship, and what a friend we have in Jesus. And grace, peace, and going to be singing. And when you're around the singing of the words, and then you're going to hear the musician play a chord. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and play. That is not an element of worship. That is worship. And you're not paying attention to the music that's being played. And when the drama is, that is worship. And then when it gets down to paying my tithe and my offering, that is saying, God, I trust you here. I'm so thankful. That is worship. And then when the preacher gets up to preach, you need to stay plugged